I'm going to be a little vulnerable with you during this video. I recently started streaming on Twitch. That's what this whole setup here is for. And I really like it. I like it a lot. I love the interaction from the few people that do watch. But I've been starting to go down the YouTube hole of, how do you build an audience? I've tried in the past a lot of different things to try to be some kind of content creator. I've made YouTube videos, vlogs, um, gaming videos, podcasts. Pretty much, if it exists out there, I've done it before. I've even done streaming a little bit before, um, but not to the degree that I'm doing it currently. So I started going down the YouTube rabbit hole of what's the quick hacks, what is the way that I can build an audience from essentially nothing. And the biggest thing I'm learning from a couple of these videos is just how personal some of the streamers get with their audience, and that's kind of what I want. As a warning, this is going to probably get just a little bit political, just a little political. That's not the purpose of this video, but it's probably going to happen. So relax, calm down. It's going to be fine, trust me. Over the last couple of years, I've been experiencing this feeling of maybe even feeling like I'm crazy for believing the things that I believe, that are counter the current political power. Maybe that's how I'll say it. You can read between the lines. But even just in that sentence right there, I'm sometimes so scared about talking about what I believe in. And I know this is a me problem. I know that entirely falls in something that's within my control. But I can't help but feel that way. That I'm scared of my own opinions sometimes, and I'm scared of confrontation, especially around subjects that maybe I'm not a scientist, so any discussion around things revolving that, I'm not a doctor. Discussions revolving those things, I tend to shy away because it's just, who am I? I'm just a guy. I'm not anything special. And I think I felt this way about myself for most of my adult life now. I'm 34. I know I don't look it with this radiant complexion, and the teenagers that I still get. But I think years and years of doing that to myself has worn away at a sense of self and a sense of identity in myself, to where if you ask me, who are you? If I were to try to wrap it up in a sentence, like writing bios on Twitter and social media and stuff is the hardest thing for me, because I don't feel like I have a good grasp on who I am. There's a lot of reasons for that, but I think some of the biggest reasons is that because my opinions are so contrary to the people in my life and family and friends and church and all of that, that I tend to just kind of keep quiet on a lot of stuff. And normally I think that can be a benefit. I think that in certain circumstances, taking a step back and really thinking about what you believe before you just spew it out is really important. And I wish more people would do that. But also, the more you remain quiet and the more you hear other people's opinions that you don't agree with, but yet you still stay quiet, this internal drama starts up in your head that maybe the person you don't agree with is right, and maybe you're wrong. But then in your head, you're thinking, no, I know I'm not wrong in this. I know I'm not wrong. But yet you have these people who think you're wrong, you have this side of you that kind of thinks you're wrong, and then a head that says, but you're not wrong. So the conclusion to this is that you must be crazy, right? Like, that's the only thing that kind of makes sense, is that, well, I don't have everything together. I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm just going to keep quiet. And years and years and years of that, I think, have kind of worn on me a little bit. And I think it's led me to be more silent for certain things than I should have been. Again, I think it's had some benefits that, there was a time, and I'm going to make a whole video about this, but there was a time where I was looking at stuff that maybe I am wrong, right? I'm willing to hear the other side. And so I heard a lot of the other side. For a year, like a good year, I was hearing the other side, listening. But always in the back of my mind is just, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't jive with what I believe. This doesn't, based on what I know, these two things seem to conflict. And I'll get more into that at a future date. But I'm saying all this to say that I feel like I need to find my people. And I'm not talking about creating some kind of bubble where everybody thinks the same thing and everyone believes the same thing and all that. But however, you have to admit that spending time only and exclusively with people that you don't agree with is going to wear you down after a while. And different people have different ways of that affecting them. For most people, I think the more time you spend around those people that you disagree with, the more you might start to change your opinions and your beliefs to more get in line with the popular consensus. And that doesn't mean that you blatantly just say, well, then I'm just going to leave this side and go to this side because it's easier. But subconsciously, that can wear on you and that can happen. I used to think I was that way, but I'm realizing more and more that I'm not that way. The two sides kind of conflict with me, and it's like, well, you make a good point over here, you make a good point over there, but, over here, I still really can't get on board with that, like racism, sexism, I can't get on board with certain things. I just can't. So no matter how many good points you have over here, if you're a piece of trash and you're the only person that I listen to day in and day out, and what can I do with that? Right? It just makes me feel crazy. I think that's the point I'm trying to get to. I'm also not great at expressing myself, as you can probably tell. So, again, I have tried a lot of different things. I have tried, making it in content. And I think the thing that's lacked the most has just been realness and rawness and vulnerability. Where normally I would have edited that out, right? I would edit that down and say, I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to look like I got tongue-tied when everybody gets tongue-tied sometimes. But what I've been lacking, I think, is an outlet to express myself and what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. And I want to try to do that more. Also, like, I'm a Star Wars nerd. I'm a gamer. But I'm also 34 and I'm a father and a husband and I have a full-time job, and if we don't give ourselves an outlet, then the drama that builds up in our mind is just one of, I'm crazy. I must be crazy because the world seems like it's on fire and half of the people don't want to admit that there's a fire, and they're just sitting there saying, This is fine. This is fine. And if that's all you hear, is that everything's fine, you're overreacting, you're crazy, that's called gaslighting. And if that's all you listen to, and that's all you get, and you don't step out to try to find people who believe what you believe, you're going to go crazy. Take it from me. Think about it this way. If all you have is people who you disagree with, and you don't have anyone to offset that with different opinions, either you're going to succumb to that, or you're going to think that you're crazy, and that everything that these people say is directed at you, that they're talking about you, which they are a lot of times. They just don't want to admit it. All that stuff makes it feel like it's directed at you. And like I just said into the mic, it sometimes is, but it also sometimes isn't. It also isn't always about you. It's a whole nother thing I got to get over. Anyway, what I'm trying to say, I've said that several times now, is I really want to find my people. I want to find people who, yes, believe what I believe to a certain degree, but will also challenge what I think. I'm kind of in a weird spot. I'm a 34-year-old who hasn't really had a whole lot of friends his entire life. I'm an introvert. I'm very internal. I'm up here all the time. I love Star Wars and Lego and video games, and I'm a Christian. I also voted Democrat just today as of the recording of this video. So, if you're like this, or at least if there's something about this video that resonated with you, I hope that you'll talk to me. Honestly, that's what I hope. I was about to say, I hope that you like and subscribe and follow. I do hope, though, that you do that. But really, the point here is to try to find a community, or make a community if we have to, of normal everyday people who can just tell each other, you're not crazy. You're not. And I feel the way you feel. And I see the things that you see. And I also think they're messed up. So that's what I'm trying to do. Now, I'm not a political channel. Sorry. I'm not a political channel. I'm not a political Twitch streamer. These things may come up as we go, but generally, I mean, just hanging around people is what I need to do. Hanging around different people with different ideas. And honestly, during a pandemic and during a point in my life where I'm at home a lot with my child, doing Twitch kind of seems like a good place to do that. So if this at all resonated with you, that's awesome. That's mind-blowing, because even my own internal dialogue right now is telling me this is stupid. No one cares. No one feels the way you feel. I'm my own worst critic. You can probably relate to that. Maybe. I don't know if this made sense at all, but I'm going to post it anyway. I do Twitch streams. Here's my plugs. I stream, let's see, most weekday nights, not all, but most, starting around 7:30 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then sometimes on the weekends, in the afternoon, once my boy goes down for a nap, and on weekend evenings and things like that. But just, if you want to, follow me on Twitch, write something in the comments, and we'll talk. I think I really want to build up. Yes, I'm a gamer. I'm going to play games. I also build Lego sets. Whenever I get them, I'm going to turn this camera here down, and we're going to build a Lego set together while we chat, because that's really what I want to do, is I want to get a just chatting night going, where it isn't always just about having to stream whatever the latest Call of Duty is, even though I don't do that now. But where we can just kind of get to know each other, I'm really gonna give this a try. I'm not. Um, I've really given a lot of things a try, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna really try, and I hope that being vulnerable is the thing I've been missing. And if nothing else, if it's just me screaming into a camera into the void, it makes me feel better. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. All right. Twitch.tv/Nonder. The O is a 0. You can follow me there. See you around.